Welcome to the Chris Salcedo Show on Newsmax. Today is a rather solemn day among those of us in the conservative movement. 1 year ago today, we lost the great Rush Limbaugh. We lost more than a conservative warrior. We lost more than a man who was the pinnacle of his profession. We lost a man who knew the psychology, the ways and tactics of the enemies of freedom, the American left. Rush was right, remembering Rush Limbaugh on the 1 year anniversary of his death in tonight's preamble. Special counsel John Durham's filings alleging that Hillary Clinton's campaign hired a tech firm to infiltrate Trump Tower servers and servers of the White House to paint the false Trump-Russia collusion narrative has sent left-wing enablers in the press, in the Democrat Party, and in permanent Washington scrambling. But Rush Limbaugh knew the Russia-Trump narrative was bunk from the very beginning.
James Clapper, July 19th, 2019. I really do wonder whether the Russians have something on him. John Brennan, March 2018. The Russians may have something on him personally. James Clapper, December 2017. What a great case officer Vladimir Putin is. He knows how to handle an asset, and that's what he's doing with the president. The president's a Russian agent, says James Clapper on Tuesday, lying through his teeth.
Rush also keyed in early on in the era of Biden that his regime would not lead to the U.S. defeating the China virus. Rush knew that Biden would ultimately lose control of the pandemic and would ultimately usher in more poverty and death. And that's exactly what happened. More people have died from the China virus under Biden's watch than under President Trump's. How was Limbaugh able to predict this outcome with such certainty? Well, it's because Rush knew a fundamental truism. No left-wing policy has ever led to anything good in the United States. As usual, Rush was on the cutting edge of societal evolution. Watch.
Well, isn't that the way we report this stuff? I mean, that's how they reported it with President Trump. Except they were a little bit more critical than I was. I mean, they had thousands of people dying every day because of Trump. I reduced my number to 100. Over 100 people have died so far from COVID-19 due to President Biden's mishandling of the virus. Well, they were going to fix it, right? We're going to unify ourselves out to wazoo, and we're going to fix all this.
But Biden divided us, and he went lawless, ushered in tens of thousands of infected China virus carriers illegally from the southern border, and the rest is, of course, unfortunate history. Rush knew exactly what Biden would do. Why? Because Rush would say that he knows these people. When I got onto radio today, I remembered Rush by also remembering P.J. O'Rourke, who we just lost a few days ago. Both men were able to tackle the serious issues of our day and do so in an entertaining and funny manner. You know, I've been listening to some of my colleagues, too, in radio and TV, remembering Rush today. Many of them zeroed in on a life lesson that Rush often preached. Never accept the premises of the left. Rush knew and understood that when left-wing extremists postulate premises, they do so from a position that assumes you are the problem. Conservatives are the problem. America is the problem. We've seen an example of this in recent days. Recent National Terrorism Advisory System bulletin released by the wannabe dictators in Biden's Department of Homeland Security. According to the bulletin, any American proliferating, quote, narratives that the Biden administration deems false or misleading qualifies as a terrorism threat. In other words, the Biden administration is attacking your First Amendment rights by declaring that they, and only they, can be the word police, determining what is false or misleading, and then they get to declare those alleged misleading statements as terrorism. Aside from the fact that Biden just defined almost every single politician in America, we all know what he's really saying. What the thugs in Joe Biden's regime are stating is that if you oppose them, you're a terrorist threat to his regime. Every American should reject the premise that free speech in America has to be filtered through a government minister of truth. Like Rush said, reject their premises. Many of you, like me, miss Rush Limbaugh every single day. Some people decided to tune out of talk radio when he passed away. My hope is those people will come back, if not for themselves, do it for Rush. I can think of no more fitting way to honor Rush Limbaugh's life and legacy than for all of our people to turn into happy conservative warriors using the lessons he preached to remain free and keep our country great. After all, Rush was right. We are a people worth saving.